Watch the entire video, my lovely viewers, to get the whole thing. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into it.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Hi lovely viewers, it's me again, your one and only Mutati Mpundu. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time on my channel, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel by hitting the subscribe button down below. Turn the bell icon to join the notification squad. Don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this video in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you lovely viewers.
So here's the problem I have with Hakainde Hichilema is Hakainde Hichilema can lie. And if you don't know Hakainde Hichilema, you would think nasango mwaume. Nasange cha ume cha kunsunga buino. You know? Kule kunkura no kunkura. So it's talked about public interest in regard with the death of Edgar Lungu, and that it is public interest, is bigger family, and it should override the family's wishes. It is always what's not being said. Have you noticed the correlation between what he has said now with the judgment that was rendered in the High Court? Also, marry this with the eligibility case. You understand? Let me repeat that. Marry what Hakainde Hichilema said in this interview with what the judgment was in the High Court. Okay? I will continue playing that video, by the way, but I just want to talk about this. Then, go back. During the eligibility case, when the court ruled that Edgar Lungu is not eligible to stand in 2020, he was eligible to stand in 2021, but he's not eligible to stand in 2026. Hakainde Hichilema went on the podium and said, that is a very excellent judgment because the public, the government of Zambia, the people of Zambia said you can only do one thing. And even if you are sworn in today and you die tomorrow, it means you have saved the term. He was trying to justify the ruling of the Concord. And it is the same thing that is happening here, where now Hakainde Hichilema, all of a sudden public interest comes in and is trying to put us, the citizen, that we are the one who are actually requesting that Edgar Lungu should be buried at the embassy park. He's trying to remove himself as the person who has so interest in the body of Edgar Lungu. God knows why. Why, Monica? He wants to excuse himself and he wants to put it on us, the public. By the way, the public, a lot of us are saying let Edgar Lungu rest in South Africa. But he wants to lie to the international community and say, we the public, because anyone seeking office has to know that this is what they sign up for. Now here is the gist where Hakainde Hichilema becomes an hypocrite. How many times has the public spoken on top of their lungs that Hakainde Hichilema should stay at State House and not at his residential private residence? I was hoping that the interviewer would follow up a question saying, but you are talking of public interest. What about you, Mr. President? All the presidents that have ruled this country, the 6 presidents that have been there before you, have lived at State House, which is the house that the Zambian people say whoever wants to run this country must live at this house. Why should you be exceptional? Why should you, Hakainde Hichilema, be exceptional? For 4 years now, going into 5, you still live at your residential address. I was expecting that interview. I really was curious to find out what Hakainde Hichilema would have said next. So he's talking about why should Edgar Lungu, this president that has died, be exceptional? Well, the answer is simple. The same way you have decided to stay at your residence, as your private residence, is the same way that the family of Edgar Lungu can choose to bury him in South Africa. The public right now have got no rights to claim Edgar Lungu should lie at the embassy park. Why? Because this public that you saw talking about has failed to compel you, Hakainde Hichilema, who happens to be the incumbent president, to live at State House, which happens to be the public interest house where any president must supposed to live. This is the hypocrisy of Hakainde Hichilema. This is the lies of Hakainde Hichilema. He wants to portray himself as this decent man, the man that upholds rule of law, the man that constantly, above everyone, is a good man, a man that was a victim, a man that was arrested, a man that did no wrong, but this country under Edgar Lungu arrested him. Even in death now, he wants to say, why should Edgar Lungu be exception? The whole essence of having Edgar Lungu's body back into Zambia, it is only to benefit whatever Hakainde Hichilema wants to do with his body. Otherwise, why would he fight the body if he has no interest? Did we, the public, are you telling me the civil servants were supposed to be paid on the 22nd of this month? They ended up getting paid on the 27th because all the energies, all the resources are being channeled on acquiring the body of Edgar Lungu. If Hakainde Hichilema, the way he speaks about saying public interest and he cares so much about the public, could actually channel the resources that are going into finding the body of Edgar Lungu back into Zambia and ensuring that you have electricity, you have adequate clean water supply, and not what is happening on the copper belt, then you can say, really, Hakainde Hichilema cares for us. But you're paying money. Taxpayers' money is being collected for what? For Karecha to take that money and go and claim the body. Are you people so much interested in Edgar Lungu's body that you are paying so much tax in order for them to waste money so that you can be load-shedded? Tafidepanga sense? Tafidepanga sense? Mamona. So the only one who's interested in the body of Edgar Lungu here, who has vast interest that he can spend resources, your resources, instead of you guys not having being load-shedded or getting paid in time, is Hakainde Hichilema. The way he wants to remove himself and say, no, it's because of the public. Wufi, oh, Hakainde Naimwe. Wufi. Eh? You are the one who's interested in the body. You are the person who's so interested in this body. Munarwiro mubiri kwati nakalimo muri bakashi bachibiri. Na ina ari murume wandi so mpero mubiri Esther. Ari murume wandi mpero mubiri. You are the only one here, and only God knows. God who sees in secret, the God that sees everything that happens in secret, knows why you want the body. So, she asked the question, saying, why can't you respect the wishes of the family? Did you see Hakainde Hichilema's face? How he, all of a sudden, he got agitated and his face dropped. It is the reaction for me that, I get interested in. Maybe you did not see it. I will replay that. But his face dropped. And he jumped like Baba pushing a corner. I said, no, we respect no, you don't. If you respect the wishes of the family, you would stay away and say, let the family do what they want. You cannot start including us in your own interest. This interest about the body Hakainde Hichilema is your own interest in Imwe. Interest, why should you include us? Maybe 3 months. Yeah? Should I say what happened today, what you did today? Yeah? Because me, I know. Leshina is in State House. I'm in State House. That phone call that you made, should I talk about it? No, but I won't. and wait. Because Narikwata, I can keep secrets. You understand? You are the only one who's interested in this body. Edgar Lungu. Legacy and ensure that his legacy does not die. Even if I don't see his body, I will still talk about his legacy. I will still, uplift his works. You never even shared a cup of tea. What is your interest? And don't say because I'm president now. And don't say about public interest. No. Takwa ba na mufeni murupwa. Bayama ngatawale mfwana na bobapwa. Olo wafwa. Ami kusiaranda tumusanga urupwa wakaroe kafe. Ndoranda tibarabe kesa kuchiro cha batata. Nomba imo tamuri rupwa ba akainde ichirema. Tamuri rupwa roba Edgar Lungu. Ero mwaikere korofitane nembwa. Echo mwana kosero ko batu mubiri waba Edgar Lungu wise muzambia nindo. A question to rape. And don't tell us about the public. We have to be patient. Don't put us in this your shenanigans. Me, I'm okay without seeing Edgar Lungu's body. I'm very, very, very fine, and my life will go on. And I will still talk about Edgar Lungu. And I will still talk about the things that he did for this country. Even if I don't see his body. But you, what is your interest that you want to see Edgar Lungu's body? Don't put the public in your interests. We are not interested. The same way you have refused to move to State House and we have stopped and left you, is the same way we want to leave the family of Edgar Lungu to do what they want. You are not family. You will never be family. Yes, you preside over the affairs of the country, but that's the mandate that's coming to an end in the next 1 year. In fact, in the next 11 months. You understand? So, this is your thing that you were saying. No, Edgar Lungu. No, it is the people of Zambia. Don't put the people of Zambia. You are the one interested in the body of Edgar Lungu, and you want to recruit us in your interest. We are not interested. Okay, we are not interested. We are not interested. Yeah? As we want the family to do what they want, to find closure. And don't tell me about these praise singers that you have recruited. Now, we are not interested. Eh? Like today I've been actually low. I've been very low because I've been thinking about why should Edgar Lungu leave us in this situation when we needed him the most. This is if we ever needed a former president, is this moment. We needed Edgar Lungu so much because things are going hell. Sadiq region, for the what we have messed up as a country. It's unbelievable. Just the simple grade 3. I told you about this simple grade 3. Waimi is a very extraordinary person. Some people think Waimi is just a grade 3 ala tukana. No. There is grace on that boy. With those insults, yes. There is grace on that boy because that boy is about to expose Hakainde Hichilema's government. That same day, and I told you, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, I said, leave Waimi alone because this boy can be your downfall. I warned you. I sure did. That Kapwepwe name is not just a name. Now let me mention chinga nini. Why me alipita muma torolo? Why me alipita mumpumo? Impumo shako bati. None of you can survive. You understand? But the boy is still standing. Kapwepwe. Francis Kapwepwe. This boy was saved in a road traffic accident where both parents died and he was saved. And I can assure you why he was saved for a purpose. There's absolutely no you can explain once ever from road accident as a survivor. And that same grade 3 now, we are all listening to that grade 3 and the entire government machinery does the most undespicable thing. They go against the international laws, go into a sovereign country and do the most despicable thing on a sovereign soil. That same grade 3 that you can insult him all you want, or the government has him, is going to be the downfall of Hakainde Hichilema. Mark my words. Because the people that are interested in the Waimi case is not just Imomwema Zambians, it's the international community. You understand? Because the way Waimi was arrested in Zimbabwe breaks all diplomatic protocols. Do you understand what I'm talking about? That is why when he went missing, I was quiet. I was not speaking. I let my UPND vasabaila, and one thought, I will not talk about Waimi. I said a day will come when we'll talk about Waimi. Because at that time, we didn't know whether Waimi was alive or dead. Okay? Now, you have to understand that the UPND started reporting about Waimi being arrested. They themselves preempted before Edgar Chagwa, 3 days before Edgar Lungu died. Waimi was captured. It's not coincidental. It's not coincidental. I'm trying to figure out how this whole thing was supposed to play out. Waimi went missing on the 2nd of June. Edgar Lungu died on the 5th of June. And all of us, we were so confused of what just befell us. I was confused. I was devastated. This house became like Catwish. My husband, because of how I was, my husband could not go for work. He had to ring in and say he can't come in work. Because I was something else. I was something, and I questioned God. Why Mwandenge Chipuba? I asked God, why have you done this to me? Why have you brought shame on me? What? How could you do this? And I constantly cried about 4 years of my life I dedicated. You know what I can do in 4 years? When I heard the news that Edgar Lungu had gone, I asked my faith. I asked God, why? Why? Why did it have to be Edgar Lungu? It was chaotic in this house. It was chaotic. When I said it was chaotic because when the news came, I was working. You understand? I was working, and when I was told, we are finished, I said, you're joking. I said, I'm sorry, but we are finished. It's gone. I said, no, you are lying. Everything else stopped. Everything that I was doing stopped. I couldn't talk to my boss. I couldn't say, I couldn't get any words. My boss just said, log out. My children were taken. I'm telling you what happened to me. My children were taken by my husband because my children started crying. They have never seen their mother in such a state. Me being the person who was advocating for Alewe Lelapo, me being a person that constantly talks to Edgar Lungu, there's a certain time we could talk and talk about things and issues affecting the people of Zambia and things like that. And I was told, and I spoke to Edgar Lungu 3 days before. Can you imagine? And he was fine. Edgar Lungu was fine. He was even telling me, Bana Louis, I'm planning to issue a statement because of what's going on. He was planning, he was going to issue a statement. Edgar Lungu was fine. He was fine. And then somebody calls you and tells you Edgar Lungu is dead in 3 days. Some of these things, but Edgar Lungu was fit. He was fine. Edgar Lungu, I insist, I spoke to him 3 days before he died. 3 days before I got the news that he's dead. And when I got the news, first of all, it was a text message on Messenger. I said, fuck you. Excuse my French, because I was so upset. I said, fuck you, stop talking to me about that. And don't you ever say that. No, chair, don't say that. I know you will get upset, but this is the news that I've got. I'm going to say, fuck you. Excuse my French, that was my language at the time. Because you can't just tell me Edgar Lungu is dead. I spoke to him 3 days ago. And when the news came from the people that I trusted to say they can give me real news, you can imagine what happened to me. Edgar Lungu was fine. He was perfectly healthy. He was fine. He was cleared. And somebody comes and tells you Edgar Lungu is normal. What could you do? What if you were in my shoes? What would you do? What would you do? If you were in my shoes, spend 4 years of your life trying to speak to the Zambians to say, you were better off with this man than where you are today. This man, yes, he did things wrong. We called him out, but he had a listening ear to what the people wanted. And I said, we have no option. We need to bring this man. And this man comes back into active politics. And you think you hit the jackpot because you made sure that this man came back into active politics. And they tell you this man is dead. Just because even with the eligibility, I knew that Edgar Lungu would be on the ballot. I was the one who was telling you Zambians to say, don't worry, he will be on the ballot. Because yes, he was going to be on the ballot. One way or the other. And then somebody comes and says, Edgar Lungu is dead. What would you do? First of all, he's saying he does not believe in witchcraft. And then he wants to say there is a precedent that has been said and there is a law. And then he's accusing Edgar Lungu of saying they can bury KK without the family. Edgar Lungu is not here to defend himself. So we are going to speak for him. Okay? First of all, Edgar Lungu, there is absolutely there's no precedent, because that case of whether KK should be buried at Embassy Park or in the village did not take place. And the family, and you have to also look at what kind of relationship did KK have with Edgar Lungu. There's a video which obviously I don't have here, but there's a video where KK was even appreciating how well Edgar Lungu was taking care of all of them, him and Rupia Banda, because those are the two former head of states that we had at the time when Edgar Lungu was president. He was actually wishing Edgar Lungu happy birthday. And in that happy birthday said, we are very thankful, Mr. President, of how you're taking good care of us. We appreciate, that you come to visit us whenever you have time and things like that. KK enjoyed a very good relationship with Edgar Lungu. Okay, there was no hard feelings. There was no ill treatment. There was nowhere where Edgar Lungu stopped KK from accessing medical health care. So, you got to understand, okay, you can't get. You got to understand that the relationship that was there, Rupia Banda and KK, these were our former presidents when Edgar Lungu was president, was a solid relationship, a good relationship, a healthy relationship that enabled, even when Edgar Lungu was saying, okay, we have to bury our president here, there was that, mutual agreement. And the family agreed with Edgar Lungu. I mean, yes, the family of KK agreed with Edgar Lungu. Not what we are seeing here. So the court impasse that HH is talking about, President Hakainde Hichilema, he thinks he can just, dictate whatever he thinks should be done and projected on other people, And we are not agreeing with that, because you see, even with KK, we have to also look at how did the family of KK come to agree that KK should be buried at the Embassy Park. Edgar Lungu enjoyed a very good relationship with Kenneth Kaunda, including Rupia Banda, even though I know Rupia Banda betrayed Edgar Lungu and voted for Hakainde Hichilema. You understand? So, but these presidents, this former president that we had, enjoyed a very good relationship, and Edgar Lungu took care of them during his tenure. On the other hand, Hakainde Hichilema and Edgar Lungu never had a good relationship until Edgar Lungu died. So for Hakainde Hichilema to claim to say, no, there's a precedent, there's a law that is there. No, today you want to respect the law because it suits you. When the law said Edgar Lungu is eligible to stand, you went and manipulated the judiciary so that they can rule against Edgar Lungu. So the constitutional court can become so useless that it can go against its own judgment. So you manipulated the law because it did not suit your interest. And by the way, there was no hearing in regard with the KK's court impasse. There was no ruling at all. The family came to agreement with Edgar Lungu's administration, and it did not even proceed to go to courts. Okay, baby. All right. I know. You understand? So, we're always going to call you out. You did not have a good relationship with Edgar Lungu. In fact, you should be the last person talking about or claiming to say, no, we should bury Edgar Lungu with dignity. You never gave Edgar Lungu dignity or the respect that he deserves. You never even condemned the insults that was rendered on Edgar Lungu when he was alive by your cadres. So there's absolutely no way you can come and put it on the Zambian public to say it is the Zambian public. You yourself, Mr. President, you have failed to respect the public interest, which is moved to State House. Why have you not moved to State House? Then the next thing that you deny is the witchcraft aspect, which again you lie. Mr. Hakainde, you cannot say you don't believe in witchcraft. What you are? You think we are children that you can just give a lollipop and we're going to suck on it and say, yeah, hell live kin Nebuchadnezzar. Where? Touch our if. By the way, they on show Moana. Don't look at me the way I'm looking pretty like this. I'm actually breastfeeding. So, what am I saying? I'm saying that we are not just going to let you to manipulate the mindset of people. You say you don't believe in witchcraft, Mr. President. You don't believe in witchcraft. Are you sure you don't believe in witchcraft? Because you are saying to say it makes you feel bad that people are saying, is there witchcraft involved in here? And we are telling you to say, Edgar Lungu wali ni mfumu. And anyone who wishes to have the grace that Edgar Lungu had would want to grab something from Edgar Lungu. You're saying, what would anyone want from the dead? What do you want from the dead? Why can't you let the family bury in South Africa? If at all, this whole thing is not spiritual or ritual involving. You understand? These are the things that we are asking. And you want to come there to say you don't believe in witchcraft yourself. If you don't believe in witchcraft, there's an article here. And it is actually on BBC. Okay? And the article reads, Suspected witch doctors arrested over attempt to bewitch Zambia's president. Your picture is there. Your picture is there. It is there. You understand? There it is. Suspected, guys, you can read. Suspected witchcraft arrested over attempt to bewitch Zambia's president. It is on BBC News. Who took the witchcraft to court? If you don't believe in witchcraft, if we are so docile and so stupid that we can just believe any word that comes out of your mouth. No! We're going to scrutinize those ways. And it reads, and I quote, I might end this live very fast because this one, I didn't show up. It was written on 20th December 2024. And it says, and I quote, 2 men have been arrested in Zambia accused of being witch doctors who had been tasked with trying to bewitch the president. The police said they had arrested Justin Mabulesi, Kandude, and Leonard Piri in the capital, Lusaka. Their purported mission was to use charms to harm President Hakainde Hichilema, said the police statement released on Friday. Many people in Southern Africa country believe in and live in fear of witchcraft. You don't believe in witchcraft. Just yesterday, said that you won against people that were using witchcraft elections, meaning Edgar Lungu was using witchcraft. If you don't believe in witchcraft, why would you say that? Eh? If truly you did not believe in witchcraft, why would you say we won against all those that was trying to use witchcraft? Why would you say that? So you want to lie. You want to trick us to say, what would one want with a dead body? What do you want with a dead body of Edgar Lungu? That's the same question we'll pose with you. What would you want with the dead body of Edgar Lungu? Because you're asking us a question and we're also posing the same question. What do you want? If there's nothing that you want with the body of Edgar Lungu, let the family bury in peace in South Africa. Why is it so hard for you to let the family to bury in South Africa? Why? So, they're on there, so I can phone lines. When I open the phone lines, I'll be just picking up the phone calls. So it says, and I quote, the MP was the police said Mr. Kandunde and Mr. Piri were hired by Nelson Banda, the young brother of MP Emmanuel J.J. Banda. The MP was reportedly arrested last month in a neighboring Zimbabwe. So that Mnangagwa knows what is happening in his country. The MP was reported arrested last month in neighboring Zimbabwe over robbery charges, which he denies, but he has not been seen in public. He is also accused of having escaped from custody in August as he awaited to appear in court. The opposition Patriotic Front Party, led by former President Edgar Lungu, was previously alleged that these charges are politically motivated. Emmanuel Banda, who has been an independent member of parliament since 2021, was previously associated with Lungu, who lost the president to Hichilema last year. In their statement, the police said the MP's younger brother Nelson was currently on the run. Mr. Kandunde and Mr. Piri have been charged under Zambia's Witchcraft Act with possession of charms, professing knowledge of witchcraft and cruelty to wild animals. The pair were found in possession of assorted charms, including a live chameleon, the police added. They told the police they had been promised more than 2 million Zambian kwacha, which is 58 pounds, $73 in dollars, for their mission, according to the police statement. The suspects are being held in custody and will appear in court soon, the police said. but did not give an exact date of hearing. They have not yet commented in public on the allegation. So, if you don't believe in witchcraft, why was these two people arrested? Why were they arrested? You can cleanse yourself. You can just say anything and we're going to believe it. Okay, if we are saying the reason why people are interested in Edgar Lungu's body is because of juju, to prove that it's not juju, stay away from it. That's the challenge we're going to give you. Stay away from it. And you said it's just not a matter of moving on. Why can't you move on? You declare that the national mourning is officially over. The country cannot mourn in perpetuity. Indefinitely, I mean, you said. Why have you failed to move on? You ended the national mourning. Why have you failed to move on? Edgar Lungu was not your friend. Oh, he was not your friend. Why? What is it that is holding you back? You were not interested in his health. Because if you are interested that Edgar Lungu lives, your administration cannot stop him from going for medicals. But your administration stopped him from going for medicals. Edgar Lungu is on record, you stopping him from going for medicals. So what is your interest? Now that Edgar Lungu is dead, why can't you let the family bury us? We are okay. We are perfectly okay for the family to bury in South Africa. Echo mufiri rocks to move on change. Whoever at the end national mourning. We have ended the national mourning. You thought by ending national mourning we're gonna be like, oh, they don't end the national mourning. No. No. So why have you failed to move on? Like she said, she told you you've got so much on your plate. You know, the same way you ended national mourning, it's the same way you should let the family to bury Edgar Lungu as they so please. Now you say, no, we are sorry about the family. No, you're not sorry. Because if you're not sorry, you wouldn't take a widow to court. Do you understand? Do you get what I'm talking about? You're not sorry. You're not remorseful. You want to get your way. And you want to look like, oh, you are interested or you feel for the family. No, you don't. You don't feel for the family. You want to get your way. And you want to have the last laugh. You understand? So don't think we don't know what is going on here. We know these things. You cannot come and claim it hurts you that people are saying there's voodoo involved or witchcraft. No. All you want is to clean yourself. What is it that you want with Edgar Lungu's body? That's the question. And that's the question that you cannot answer. Because you don't want people to know. Why? Why, Monaga?
This is a dream come true. Oh my God.
Shimombi, so this is the house that you want. It's now your house.
Yes.
Bashimumbi.
Yeah. Mumbi, why?
Nachubala mwala ingiro tunyelele.
No, Rose. Kawachileka na ingira munganda.
Unganda nshi?
Ngwele nganda.
Bashimumbika mango ine nganda kwisa.
Kuturo.
Obe. Ya, ichiro toko wama. Panda inyaba na chilatinga. Nimbono koko wale unishama yanda.
Hello. No mara mone ifya kuino bwingi hapa. Imyotoka. Trolley dash. Mwana mungu.
Mokwe.
Le center.
No was
Elo na mushiba. Patu lesa pela first kutulo. Elo mbanga wabuka ufire wakonka.
Ambera mutine.
Le center.
Neba ko stashanya abo.
Na bale mbapa, dial *384*1#. It's simple. Hello. Chawa mapo 10 kwacha.
Awukosi ni kwata 10 kwacha.
Twalabika boka 200.
Ngatwayengisha babiri dimbu madaba kututu awina 1 Imoye na imoyine.
Hello na bamayo, twalaba posamu. Ali kwata sana shuko mayoli.
It's time to live your dream. Zambia, 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 it's your time because no dream is too big for My Zambian Dream. Enter this draw so that you can stand a chance at winning shopping vouchers, cell phones, solar kits, cars, money, vacation trips, mini meal, trolley dashes, scholarships, and the grand prize of a 3-bedroomed house. That's right, a 3-bedroomed house. To enter the draw, all you have to do is dial *384*1# and you will only be charged 10 kwacha to enter this amazing competition. What are you waiting for? It's time to live your dream. It's time to live your dream.
This is DJ Mutati exclusive.
Alright, that's all for you today, lovely viewers. If you did enjoy the video, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the video you just watched in the comment section below. I'll be super glad to hear from you, lovely viewers. Once again, I go by the name of Mutati Mpundu. I love you, peace, I gotta go.